Mysterious invite. In Heian-kyo, the leaders of the three great clans gathered to discuss intelligence about the Taira clan. Same discovered that the Taira's last remnants had fled to Yamatai, the very castle of the sun. Since the Heian elegant banquet, the three great clans have coexisted peacefully, though occasional frictions still arise. Same and Minamoto no Yorimitsu entered the Fujiwara clan's mansion. From deep within the mansion, the melody of a celestial bird, zither, could be heard. They walked deeper into the Fujiwara clan's mansion. Truly befitting the Fujiwara clan's mansion, the most elegant and refined among the three great clans' residences. This amount of money will be more than enough to make 100 ghost armories. Ornamentation is merely superficial. The Fujiwara residence has been passed down for millennia, with mysteries hidden in every corner. The first head of the Fujiwara clan was a brilliant strategist renowned 1,000 years ago. The Fujiwara mansion is intricately designed with Onmyoji art. Looking up now, a flawless full moon hangs in the sky. The Lord Michinaga carries the legacy of his ancestors from a millennium ago. Rumor has it that the Fujiwara clan produces a full moon lord every few generations. This legend is quite intriguing. What are you trying to say? Great Onmyoji, would you dare to place your trust in the hands of the Fujiwara clan? Actually, Lord Minamoto no Yorimitsu, I'm not entirely at ease with you either. Just kidding. The three great clans have formed an alliance. At the very least, I believe you and Lord Michinaga are not ones to break your word. The Fujiwara mansion is a labyrinth of winding paths. In the deepest pavilion, the celestial bird zither plays its final melody. The attendants ushered Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Same into the pavilion. The Fujiwara lord plays his zither under the full moon. Tonight's flawless orb mirrors Heian-kyo praise for him. His hands, devoid of color, gleam a ghostly white under the moonlight. Minamoto no Yorimitsu pays no heed to the music, instead turning to scrutinize the courtyard's enigmatic arrangements. After finishing his performance, Fujiwara no Michinaga meticulously washes his hands. Once dried, he picks up the zither again, carefully tuning its strings. Beneath Fujiwara no Michinaga's full moon lord mask seems to lurk an unfathomable specter. Seeing the two enter the pavilion, he dismisses the attendants with a wave. Lord Fujiwara, since you've summoned us both here, I presume you must have news regarding the Taira clan. Earlier, I overheard someone in my courtyard discussing how much these could be traded for ghost armory. Has the Minamoto clan fallen so low that they must now spy on others' mansions? Wasting wealth on useless things is worse than forging more weapons. Otherwise, when the G4 crisis comes, all the riches in the world will be meaningless. The Fujiwara clan's shadow armory, conjured by melodies and Onmyoji spells, is formidable. Yet during the Taira no Masakado rebellion, the main force was still our Minamoto clan. The crisis of the Taira clan was far from over. though the Minamoto clan still had funds for now. Only the support of the Fujiwara clan could sustain the alliance of the three great clans. The Minamoto wouldn't mind aiding the distressed when the Fujiwara come seeking help. Lord Minamoto no yorimitsu, I too worry about the Fujiwara's shadow army being insufficient. But if this truly involves the Taira clan, I fear the Minamoto will bear the brunt. Documents and records from decades past were lost in the flames of war. Yet even fragmented accounts of that Genpei war reveal. Back then, the Fujiwara contributed no less than the Minamoto in annihilating the Taira. My lords, hear me. Making the great clans lower their guards and trust each other is indeed a G4 challenge. But this wasn't just a Taira matter. The entire Heian-kyo would suffer the consequences. Moreover, hidden forces still lurk behind the Taira. Having a sworn alliance, we three clans must unite sincerely against this crisis. This alliance is imperative against the threat. Might you both set aside some prejudices? Same, now that we're allied, the Minamoto won't betray our pact with schemes. No need for veiled words, Lord Yorimitsu. The Fujiwara have thrived a millennium through wisdom, some secrets I cannot disclose. But with a grand Onmyoji mediating our pact, witnessed by someone as noble as Lord Same, my actions will never betray this alliance or embarrass Lord Same. You sound almost sincere when mentioning that grand Onmyoji. I've retrieved the Fujiwara's historical records. Perhaps they'll reveal the truth. As expected of the Fujiwara clan, what the Minamoto struggled to obtain, the Fujiwara acquired with such ease. The Fujiwara's intelligence network is renowned across the land. Lord Michinaga, pray tell us what information you've gathered this time. Fujiwara no Michinaga produced a chest containing intelligence and opened it. Here lie the Fujiwara's historical records concerning the Taira clan. The final report states that after the Genpei War, the Taira suffered a crushing defeat. The three great clans once dispatched forces to pursue the last remnants of General Sun Hunter's army. The investigation into the Taira matter should likely begin here. I've sent agents to search for clues among our clan's elders, but all we've learned is that many years ago, there was a battle that dealt the Minamoto grievous losses. Even the survivors seemed cursed, perishing one after another in short order. The pursuers sent by the three great clans chased toward the place where General Sun Hunter first made his name, but none returned. The ancient kingdom of Yamatai, later an isolated land beyond borders, after Taira no Masakado's death, it drifted offshore, its warlords warring endlessly in great peril. The three great clans were forced to withdraw from Yamatai. The Fujiwara left behind some spies who once sent messages back to Heian-kyo. The chaos was ended by a Sun Queen, who established a thriving castle. Soon after, Yamatai vanished at sea. The spies disappeared, and all contact with Heian-kyo was lost. Even the Fujiwara's formidable intelligence network couldn't uncover subsequent events. An isolated kingdom lost at sea, a Sun Queen. Samir fell into deep thought. I believe that land is now the Castle of the Sun, but at that time, we heard nothing of vengeance for the Taira clan. We've heard Lord Saman has traveled far and wide, his journeys reaching distant horizons. His knowledge surely surpasses ours. It seems he must have been there. Within Yamatai, we may yet find traces related to the Taira clan. Saman briefly recounted his experiences in the Council of the Sun to the group. The princess of that Council of Time severed the cycle of karma, and now the Council of the Sun should emerge from the rift of time. Saman fell into deep thought. Has Takayashime freed all the ghostly citizens of Council of the Sun from their obsessions? Saman suddenly felt a gaze upon him. The same chilling, shadowy gaze he had sensed when viewing the scroll sealed by cursed arts. And the eerie whispers from those dark shadows. My lifelong rival, Saman. Saman placed the intelligence regarding Yamatai back in his hand. This time, I wish to revisit the Council of the Sun for further investigation, and to visit an old friend I haven't seen in years. Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Saman left the Fujiwara residence. As they departed, the sound of Fujiwara Michinaga's heavily buried zither resonated once more. The zither music of this clan head Michinaga is truly among the finest I've heard in recent years. Minamoto no Yorimitsu stood still, listening for a while. Indeed excellent, but his melody conceals an ambition hard to fathom. Huh? Why couldn't I discern that layer of meaning? You rarely attended those music lessons the elders arranged back then. I didn't listen through musical theory, but with the heart of the Minamoto clan leader. Earlier, I witnessed Lord Michinaga handling affairs, reading 10 lines at a glance, writing effortlessly. Truly admirable. With a sufficiently sharp blade, one can slash through all sinister schemes. Saman, this time the Minamoto clan must also dispatch some elites. This time, we're going to investigate. Minamoto no Yorimitsu, you must promise me not to disturb the tranquility of the Council of the Sun. The Council of the Sun now stands isolated at sea, having once been ravished by spirits, leaving it desolate and broken. Even if the Minamoto clan truly harbors ambitions of invasion, it would be unsustainable. I won't engage in futile endeavors. Minamoto no Yorimitsu departed, leaving Hiro and Saman behind, with Hiro still listening to the sound of the zither. If I didn't know how young this family head was, judging solely by the zither's melody, I'd think he had practiced for decades. Lord Michinaga's zither playing is exquisite, but in my heart, Hiro's flute remains the most melodious. As for the heart of a clan leader, I cannot discern it. What I can hear is that his zither seems to be waiting for someone. After listening to a piece played on the heavenly bird zither, Saman and Hiro left together inside the Fujiwara mansion. When Saman and Hiro departed, Fujiwara no Michinaga strode to the railing. He plucked a single note, and as it faded, the trees and courtyard in the once elegant garden began to slowly rotate. The rotation of the courtyard followed the hidden patterns of a unique and profound formation. In what had seemed an empty courtyard moments ago, the figures of 300 Fujiwara warriors now stood revealed. Each held an instrument, assisting their lord in his spell casting. As Michinaga's heavenly bird zither released a note, their instruments resonated in harmony. Empowered by the formation, he retrieved another box, sealed with curses. As his hand brushed over it, the contents within seemed to stir from slumber. This was retrieved from the congue during its recent upheaval. Rage, sorrow, resentment, longing, such complex emotions, almost human in their depth. Attached to the box was a letter sent earlier. Originally, it was a sacred artifact held by the Taira clan among the four great families. Formed by the Sunstone and Moonstone, the Sunstone retraces the Moonstone sellers. Taira no Masagaro once used it during the Genpei War, but a sudden change in the Great War led to the annihilation of the Taira clan, and the Chrono Jade was lost. During the war, Taira no Masagaro might have foreseen the outcome. He ordered a secret squad to escort the Chrono Jade and the last descendant of the Taira clan to Yamatai. The descendant, with immense spiritual power, grew up to quell the turmoil in Yamatai, built the Castle of the Sun, and ascended the throne as king. Using the power of Chrono Jade and the Ongakyo, she concealed the Castle of the Sun within the rift of time. While only decades passed in the outside world, the castle experienced 800 years of karma due to the effects of the two sacred artifacts, until the princess shattered the karma with the Moonstone, bringing the Castle of the Sun back into the world. The letter was written by Shiodona, addressed to Fujiwara no Michinaga. Where, truly, are you hiding? The heavenly bird heart hummed as the final guest arrived at last. The air outside the congue seems quite nourishing, and the one with you, my so-called sister, where is she? Don't claim kinship so casually. She is asleep. What do you want me to do? Fujiwara no Michinaga handed the box in his hand to the other. I need you to deliver this to the Castle of the Sun. Fujiwara no Michinaga, to repay the favor you did me that time by helping me escape. This is the last time. You only need to deliver it for me. After that, whatever you choose, I cannot and will not interfere, even if you end up as my enemy. In the Fujiwara family, everyone is a potential enemy, past, present, and future. If I feared enemies, I wouldn't be here. Ugly and greedy, they fought each other. Sitting in this seat and saying these words feels somewhat ironic. It's not that my reasons are noble or righteous, but the loser can only listen to the winner's judgment. This is the Fujiwara family's rule. Why this book? You actually didn't destroy it. This is it, the answer you've been searching for. The truth behind the blood wedding, and the key to saving my sister. The Fate Shaper and Fujiwara no Michinaga confront each other. The person before them understands too well what lies in people's hearts. You, Fujiwara people, always hide things. It's really annoying. You're not the first, nor will you be the last to say that. The true owner of this book is one of the culprits behind the blood wedding you seek. The entrusted one departs, carrying the box. Fujiwara no Michinaga leans against the railing. He isn't playing, yet the heavenly bird zither intermittently produces sounds. He closes his eyes and listens intently. The music is utterly discordant. The clanging noise, resembling mere cacophony, brings a genuinely delighted smile to his face. Minamoto Clan Training Grounds. The Minamoto clan head routinely inspects the clan's army here. Today, he comes to test the most elite forces of the Minamoto. The newly developed Ghost Armory demonstrates new formations on the training grounds. The clan head wields his sword. As its blade arcs through the air, the new Ghost Armory units advance in unison. Dust erupts across the training grounds, and even miles away, the tremors from the Ghost Armory's advance can be felt. Minamoto no Yorimitsu nods, quite satisfied with the progress of the Ghost Armory research. At that moment, a blaze intent flashed, heading straight from Minamoto no Yorimitsu. The Ghost Armory sensed their master's peril and raised their weapons in unison. No! Two streaks of blade light intertwined on the training grounds, their sharpness even beyond the Ghost Armory's ability to block. You're back! I did not return for you, before the threat looming over Heian-kyo. Long time no see, you've grown even sharper. I have never ceased honing myself. Now, the final unsheathed blade of the Minamoto army is finally complete. Coincidentally, I was also waiting for you to see that slumbering ice blade together. Minamoto no Yorimitsu walked deep into the Minamoto shrine. Here lies an ice blade. Legends say it belonged to a shrine maiden and sword saint who once led the Minamoto forces to repel the taira long ago. After scouring the Minamoto records, it's unclear whether her name was erased or simply lost to time. She descended upon the battlefield like winter's wrath, wielding her blade's might. When an unexpected calamity struck, she seized the moment and crushed Taira no Masakado in one decisive blow. All she left behind was this blade, and I've never seen this sword before. You've already seen the other half of these twin blades, the cursed sword. The Genpei War was one of the bloodiest battles the Minamoto ever faced. One day, even this blade's master vanished. On a winter night, that clan had disappeared without a trace. She entrusted everything to her disciple. Later, that disciple fused with the cursed sword. In the aftermath, the Minamoto lost generations of leaders and countless troops, leaving the rival weakened and fearful of covetous eyes upon this blade. Thus, it was sealed away. This time, I had people search far and wide, gathering ancient texts from various clans, and finally found this blade in a long-forgotten place of the Minamoto clan. The sword is a weapon no less formidable than I. No need for undue modesty. Even the swords of past clan leaders may not suppress those of today. Though it is a blade of ice, it is exceedingly gentle. No, not the blade, but the hand that once wielded it was gentle. Onikiri attempted to unleash his killing intent, but it melted away upon touching the ice blade. Even rampant bloodlust would dissolve in its presence. That clan leader wielded the blade of death and the blade of life. However, when the blade of death regained consciousness, she had forgotten her former master, the one sword bearer of the Minamoto clan. For this journey to the Castle of the Sun, be wary of Fujiwara no Michinaga. Believing the Fujiwara clan leader harbors no schemes is like trusting you to know the way. This time, I returned without getting lost. Minamoto no Yorimitsu took the ice blade from its stand. It does not resonate with me and cannot become my side arm, yet this time, the blade of life that once defeated Taira no Masakado may still prove useful. Ice is the sharpest blade. Its glow fell upon the sealed away, weathered portrait of the shrine maiden, who was also a sword saint, and the entire room lit up with a cold, pure light. So Ned returned to the courtyard and selected some elites from the Kamo clan as well. Historical records of the Minamoto and Fujiwara clans have been delivered to Seme's courtyard.
Lord Seme, Lords Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Fujiwara no Michinaga have sent so many scrolls. They're practically overflowing the courtyard, and add the Kamo clans to that.
Even Kohaku's favorite running space in the courtyard is now barely navigable. These are records from the Genpei War. Each clan has concealed parts of the past. Many of the original records were lost in the Great Fire of the capital. The group sorted through the records of the Genpei War in the courtyard. I heard it from an elder of the Minamoto clan. The Taira were originally one of the 4 great Onmyoji families under the leadership of Taira no Masakado. They once stood at the pinnacle of Onmyoji clans. Just as the 4 families were about to sign the pact, the Taira no Masakado rebellion erupted. However, Taira no Masakado sought to rule the land through tyranny and terror, leading to a rift with the other families. From then on, the name of the Taira faded from Heian-kyo. Many among the later generations of the 3 families only learned of this history much later. He pieced together the accounts of the 3 families regarding the final outcome of the Genpei War. Glasses clinked as all joined in the grand celebration. It was once a wedding that captivated all of Heian-kyo. The Great Spirit allied with the Kamo clan who had a human Onmyoji, an event that should have brought joy to the entire capital. From dawn, flower spirits showered the sky with petals, while wind spirits carried the gentlest breezes until the cold glint of arrows flashed, staining the pact meant to bring peace with the blood of the 4 families. By the end, it was impossible to tell whether it was blood or red silk. The roar of the Great Spirit echoed across the heavens, while the corpses of Onmyoji from the 4 families piled high within the estate. Amid the flames, distrust and hatred festered between humans and spirits, and among humans themselves. Onmyoji arriving at the scene tripped over the fallen at the entrance. By the crimson light, they recognized their own king. That year, lamentations whitened all of Heian-kyo, birthing an unshakable nightmare orchestrated by the tyrant of the Taira. Those accused of aiding him were stripped of everything by furious humans and spirits. The hunter of the sun ultimately became the hunted sun. Those who ignite the flames of war will ultimately be swallowed by them. The Fujiwara clan said that the last general of the Taira fled to Yamatai. The Minamoto clan's records mention that Yamatai was once a powerful foreign land in the past. Back then, they threatened Heian-kyo, forcing the 4 great clans of Heian-kyo to send Taira no Masakado as a hostage to Yamatai. At this moment, Kohaku was rolling around playfully in a pile of books. Soon, he found an ancient tomb from the Kamo clan among them.
The scent that the book's contents made, God would feel very uncomfortable.
The ancient tomb seemed ordinary, but its recorded contents were thought-provoking. A 9-word seal was inscribed within. The man gazed at the 9-word seal, and everything around him faded from his vision. Shadowy figures reappeared around him, ancient and desolate, as he heard the wails of 1,000 years ago echoing in his ears. Run away. That guy, he's gone mad. What he's using isn't Onmyoji spells at all. He's trying to open it. The land where Heian stood began to crack piece by piece, and the 9-word seal slowly emitted a bloody glow upon the earth. Half the people vanished into thin ash in an instant, transforming under the 9-word seal, Radiance, into endless layers of ghosts stretching beyond sight. One piled upon another, one upon another, struggling to reach out to Zeme, only to be dragged back by the ghosts behind them the moment they touched them. Zeme channeled his Onmyoji power to ignite the pentagram, was shattered into blue glittering light, flying toward the 9-word seal in the sky. The 9-word seal shattered, and then clarity returned to the surroundings.
Zeme, are you alright? Lord Zeme, you scared Gaku to death. Why did you suddenly freeze like that?
It's an illusion. It seems others cannot perceive this illusion. Zeme had read about such phenomena in ancient texts during his youth, but never before had he experienced hallucinations like today. A millennium ago, the ancient calamity descended, but was thwarted by the 4 great clans, yet the source of that calamity vanished without a trace. My mentor once told me that the calamity's true purpose was to seek the origin of all things and this world, harboring infinite possibilities, yet it might also bring about utter annihilation. That is an Onmyoji spell forbidden to master. What I practice, however, is its opposing art. Could this be the so-called lifelong nemesis? All right. Since you finished reading, hurry and put these books away. Black is practically turning them into a nest. Besides, if we're heading to the Council of the Sun, we ought to prepare properly. Leave the packing to me. Eternal night has long shrouded the Council of the Sun. The Fate Shaper stood before the Sun Pavilion. The only princess might be mourning lost souls within the vast eternal night. He slipped in unnoticed. Following Michinaga's method, he undid the curse and opened the box in his hands. What's this? The petals of the dream cage flower trembled uneasily. Beside him, Fujiwara Ayaka, who had been in deep slumber, opened her eyes roused by the unsettling aura. It was the source of agony. A mere touch would summon icy shivers. Eerie whispers of specters arose, mingled with the scent of blood and remnants from the congue. She clutched the Fate Shaper's sleeve and shook her head, twisted and saying, even the Calamity God trembles before it. This is the deepest aura, the congue, the Calamity God, no, the origin of the Calamity God. The Fate Shaper gazed at the book, understanding flashing in his eyes, followed by deep loathing and hatred. He called himself and turned to the bewildered Fujiwara Ayako. Steadily, he covered Ayako's eyes. Ayako, sleep. When you wake next time, perhaps you won't need to fall into deep slumber again. The ancient Onmyoji tomb lay quietly inside the G2 box. An ancient yet ruthless aura seeped from its pages. He seemed to see the tendrils spreading across the conway, sucking blood, and the tyrannical ruler raising Futsunomitama, a bizarre, vicious, ancient calamity, slowly opened its maw to swallow all. A pair of eyes watched the book's holder silently from the pitch-black shadows. He reached out and turned to the first page. Who are you? I revere the ancient calamity and seek its power. Teach me your wisdom. Himiko. Inside the Minamoto shrine, a ghostly shadow slipped into the shrine's depths. The blade was taken. That sword never belonged to the three great clans. The sword Saint Shrine Maiden left behind the blade of certain death. Find the blade of sacrifice. Only a blade stained with the blood of Taira no Masakado can locate the severed hand. A few days later, the three great Onmyoji clans were ready to depart for the Council of the Sun. To avoid disturbing the peace of the Council of the Sun too much, Minamoto no Yorimitsu and Fujiwara Michinaga brought only a select group of elite soldiers. The mayor had originally planned to act as a guide, leading everyone toward the Council of the Sun, a place beyond karma. 1,000 paper cranes flew in from afar, landing in Samea's hands. They were sent by Kanamai. It seems the affairs of the Taira clan are indeed linked to Ashiado. The paper crane transformed into an invite. Sameh, my lifelong rival, the Grand Spirit Festival is about to begin. I shall await you in the eternal night to witness. At the end of the letter, it was signed by Ashiodoman. Fujiwara Michinaga and Minamoto no Yorimitsu carefully examined this invite. The emerging 9-word seal shared the same origin as the mysterious curse marks we discovered earlier. Ashiodoman, I recall his ties to your Fujiwara family run deep as well. The body of today may now house the soul of today. After 1,000 years, who can still tell whose shadow this is? Why cling to names of the past? If he is now called Ashiodoman, then let it be Ashiodoman. Sameh gazed at the heavenly bird lute in Michinaga's hands, then heard Michinaga call his name. Lord Michinaga, just who are you? Lord Sameh, I do not wish to hide anything from you. In truth, being able to speak my mind directly to you is also a source of pain for me. However, I must beg your pardon for not being able to explain everything to you now. I can only wait for the right moment. A harbor in Heian-kyo. The Fujiwara clan has prepared a magnificent and comfortable ship. Takayashima is currently in the Council of the Sun. If left to her alone, it may be difficult to stop Doman from holding his 10,000 Spirits Festival there. We should set out for the Council of the Sun as soon as possible. As he spoke, the invite trembled and floated up again, transforming back into 1,000 paper cranes. It flew ahead of the ship, seemingly guiding everyone. Perhaps Kamemai was leading the way.
Hey, wait for me!
Just as the ship was about to depart, someone suddenly rushed over from nearby, panting heavily as they stopped in front of the group.
You're going to the Council of the Sun? Take me with you.
Sorry, Enmusugi said there's a thread of fate guiding her to the Council of the Sun.
I told her that this bond is ethereal and elusive, yet omnipresent. If I can't figure it out, it'll bother me. Why has Suzuhiko Man come along too? Well, when she heard you were going to the Cafe of the Sun. Suzuki-hime was watching my latest puppet show.
I heard she was heading somewhere dangerous, so I couldn't rest easy and decided to come along.
Seeing so many of you together, I figured you're off to do something dangerous again. Just so we're clear, this time I'm definitely not fighting. Once we reach the capital of the sun, we'll split up. You all can go fight your battles, and I'll stay far away to search for that bond on my own. By the way, this new puppet show was inspired by many stories I've read. Hey, isn't this the head of the Fujiwara family, the great god of wealth? No, someone's here, the tycoon. And this one, from the Minamoto clan, how about a 20% discount for you? It's so boring at sea. Wanna listen? Hey, care to listen? Today's tickets are really cheap. Just 1,000 jade.
1,000 J? That ain't freaking cheap. About time that's freaking done. Oh my goodness, make me This better not be a long ass story. This better not be a